What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Willie Does Wrestling back at it with an impromptu podcast episode of Unscripted. It's been the first Unscripted episode in a while. I'm here, of course, with the one and only Dylan of the Last Week in Wrestling podcast. Dylan, how are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing great. Doing great. I just came back from the road to Wrestlemania last night at Madison Square Garden. It
Oh
was
yeah.
absolutely insane. It was insane, man. Great seats. It was a great time. So definitely
Well,
spent way too much money on merch. Clearly,
oh, you
it's
got the Sammy Uso.
I got
Working
Sammy, I
that.
got Kevin Owens, I got Bray, I got Bloodline hat is what I'm wearing right now.
Ah.
I um, I bought Cody Rhodes shirts. Yeah, I spent a nice penny. So
That's interesting. How exactly was it?
oh, it was
Uh
fantastic.
oh
I mean,
really?
it was absolutely one of the best shows starting off 2023 for me. I'm definitely got to go to another live house show again. It was my first ever house show. I've been to a Rampage last year in Full Gear, which I've said numerous times over here on the podcast and everything, and on your videos and stuff. So, um, this was our first, like my first house show, which was really cool. It was a very different atmosphere, definitely different people and stuff like that. But I mean, Madison Square Garden is beautiful. It's not too far from where I'm at. And then, yeah, we have AEW live show at the UBS Arena in April, and then we're going again to Madison in July for SmackDown. So a lot of,
Nice.
yeah, a lot of wrestling, a lot of shows, a lot of traveling, a lot of craziness.
That's awesome, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, I saw your Twitter and they that
yeah.
seemed amazing, that whole
Charlotte,
environment.
Charlotte Flair liked the tweet of her when I got a great a video of her doing her signature, the eight figure leg lock on Sonya to get the win, and she liked it and everything. And then I just was talking to Kimberly Ford as well on Twitter. She liked one of my MJF comments or whatnot about his rebar mitzvah that's happening on Wednesday. So that was great. And then yeah, man, no, I know the TikToks are popping off. I'm at like 130 something thousand on one of the videos and 120 something thousand on another, and the other one just hit like 10K. So it's been crazy. Yeah, I'm like 30 or 40 things away now from hitting 1,000 followers on TikTok. It's really insane. It's really a
That's
great moment.
that's great, and you also said that there was a fan of your podcast that you met,
Yeah,
MSG.
yeah, it was crazy. This guy ran up. I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. It was still just such a surreal moment. Yeah, a guy ran up on me, and well, two guys ran up on me. When we first got there, we were waiting to get Krispy Kreme donuts. I was going to the bathroom, and this kid like ran in the bathroom. He's like, "What's up with the QR code on the back of your hoodie? What is it? What is it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's for the podcast that I do and stuff like that." So he scanned it, and we talked for a little bit, and then I saw him throughout the show a bunch, and then. Yeah, this other guy, we were waiting online. The guy goes, "Oh, is that a merch thing or something? What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the Last Week in Wrestling podcast." He was like, "Oh, I love those people." And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, Do you work for them or something?" I was like, "No, it's me. That's who I am. Hi, how are you?" And he was like, "Holy shit, that's insane! I can't believe I'm meeting you right now." Yeah, I took my first celebrity picture. It was just such a real moment. I was waiting for everybody else to like start crowding me. I was like, "Oh Jesus, I'm such in a small area right now, waiting online to get into the actual stadium. Now all these people around us might start taking photos and asking me questions." But no, man, it was a great time. It was such a nice to meet the fans. I love. I never had that experience ever in my life. But when I started doing this, I expected something like that to happen, and it did. And I can't wait for more great interactions like that. I mean, people are great. I do
Yeah.
love seeing and meeting people. So it's definitely it's a whirlwind experience. You got to try it once. It's something, man. Really is.
Yeah, that's insane, though. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
But
man.
first, let's get into really what made me wanna do this.
Hmm.
All day, there was rumors that Bray Wyatt walked out, question mark?
Yeah, or he was sick, or he was walking out, or he was injured, or some wild shit. But again, people love starting rumors, man. I tell you.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's like, from what I read, it was like it came from Reddit or something
Hmm.
like that,
Right.
and because he missed the MSG show you went to, and
Yeah, very sad. I was very expecting it. It was supposed to be a street fight between him and LA Knight, and I was so excited. I was like, oh, and then yeah, LA Knight comes out and he was like, "Oh, Bray doesn't have the loins to come out tonight and wrestle in front of all of y'all." I'm like, "That son of a bitch!" Like,
Yeah. But yeah, so LA Knight did. Oh no, sorry, Bray didn't work MSG and last night. So I guess these fucking Reddit people were like, "Oh, Bray, was there, but then
yeah,
he packed his bags and he went home." And it's just like, what are you, wrestling news now on YouTube? Like, fuck off,
yeah,
buddy. Um,
unbelievable.
yeah, and it's like, first off, Bray didn't fucking walk out. I think anyone with 2 brain cells would know that. Do I think
Yeah,
he's sick? Do I think he's injured? Yeah. All the house show dates he's worked for the past few weeks, that would actually explain why he wasn't on SmackDown this week.
right.
He left a tease saying that he's gonna come back tonight, but I guess now that's not really a possibility.
Hmm.
Um, but unless they do last minute being like Uncle Howdy versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania,
Let's
Bo
go.
Dallas.
Yeah, right.
Um, but no, I highly don't believe that Bray is gone. Well, how did you feel about those rumors when you first heard about them?
I didn't know any of this until, I was talking to you guys in the group chat and starting to do my own little research online and everything. And I heard a mix of different things. I heard he was injured, I heard he was sick, I heard he had an injury and he was sick, I heard that he walked out, I heard that he quit, I heard that,
Yeah.
the Tooth Fairy came and scooped him up. Alexa Bliss told him that he should quit, all these crazy shit. And generally speaking, I really don't feed into a lot of those. Nice little Bray pun right there. But I don't really feed into the hype and the drama and rumor mill of social media too much. I search out my facts and I try to really find out what is true or not. And as before we were getting this episode ready, I was seeing from on Twitter that Sean Sapp was saying that it looks like he has a undisclosed physical injury or a illness of some sort. So whether he's sick, whether he's injured of some sort, whether he just wants some time off from doing, house shows, TV shows, because we have to remind ourselves that they're really only off about 3 months out of the year, roughly. The rest
Around
of
there,
this
maybe not
time,
even. More like a
yeah,
month. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like a lot of the time they're on the road either doing live house shows for us, for fans who can't, either watch it every week or, can't attend the live shows and stuff like that, or, they're doing TV spots. There's 2 shows, if you count NXT, three, every week, 3 days a week, seven
yeah.
times. It's a lot. It's a lot. And, wrestlers, they're human beings, people. These aren't like super steroid and fueled athletes. These aren't the Hulk Hogan's of our 80s time. This isn't the, early, late 90s, early 2000s where they could work 310 days and be all 40. Like it's just not possible. A lot of these guys are movie stars at the same time. They got families, they got kids, they got, we've seen Edge go into a kid's his daughter's or his son's dance thing at a basketball at the elementary school or whatnot. We saw him on social media dancing with a whole bunch of parents and stuff like that. So, these guys are doing a lot just to entertain us 5, 6 days a week, 7 days a
Yeah.
week sometimes, and then going home to entertain their families or their pets or like Dakota Kai is on Twitch, streaming. So it's just like,
Yeah.
everyone's got something else besides wrestling that they either got to take time away from, they got to force an injury, let's say, that's not too severe, or they get injured, or they just don't feel like performing. Listen, I'm sad. I miss Bray. I didn't even know Bray was supposed to be there till the morning of when me and Sam were getting ready to head to the journey of New York City, the Great Apple. And I heard Sam was like, "Yeah, I read that it's going to be LA Knight and Bray Wyatt a street fight." I said, "Oh man, I hope they come up to where we're at because we were pretty close to the ground where they could come
Yeah.
up. The stairs were literally right to the barricade." And I was like, "Oh my god, imagine LA Knight. We get to because we were at the edge. We were literally right next to the stairs, so like we could touch these guys." And I was like, "Oh man, if they come up the stairs, like me and the security guards, we're all gonna jump in. We're all gonna beat up LA Knight for Bray. Like this is happening." And unfortunately, it didn't happen. And LA Knight had to make a thing about it. Said he didn't have the loins to fight me tonight, and then fight all of us in front of these shitty ass New York Knicks stadiums and everything, which was great. I loved it. I love when he was talking shit. So I get it. It sucked. Absolutely, I was a little disappointed. We got Braun Strowman instead, and it was a very quick squash match. Braun, as
Yeah.
big as he is, he just threw him down, and LA Knight was done. That was it. So that was it. And it sucks, but I get it. Some people just like to cause rumors. Some people just want to be celebrities desperately and be known
Yeah.
for starting things and
I
whatnot.
swear it seems like that. It's like, "I reported this, I'm right." Like,
Yeah,
it's
not
like,
everybody's right.
I don't understand how you can go from personal illness to he's walking out in a span of 5 seconds. I don't fucking get it. Like, the IWC never fails to surprise me.
See, I
Like,
never heard of these guys before you guys. I never heard of IWC, and I've never checked them out. I've never heard about them, so I can't say anything good or bad about them, unfortunately. But I don't like when people like pretty much what you're saying right now. I hate it when people cause insignificant rumors or
yeah.
detrimental stories to fans and wrestlers alike. And then we had a similar situation with Ringside News was reporting. I don't know where they got their source from, but that Alexa Bliss and her husband were getting a divorce. And like an hour or two later, Alexa Bliss said, "We shouldn't read everything. You shouldn't believe everything that
Yeah.
you read on the internet." And I was like, "Okay, good," because I was like, "Why
Ringside
would you all of a
News
sudden?"
Ringside
Yeah,
News, don't get me started on that. I remember when he had, like, a drunken rant on, like, Soraya, and
yeah, I
that
saw
was
that. I didn't know what the
fucking
hell was going on with the internet that day. I was like, "What? Maybe
I
he got
remember
hacked."
seeing that on my timeline and being like, "Soraya's brother did this," that I won't say on fucking stream, but it was like, "What? I don't
Yeah, you,
fucking I don't
you know,
understand."
it's so funny. I wanted to work for those guys. I wanted to be a writer, a news writer for them, and I hit
Yeah,
them up a few
no,
times.
buddy.
And I mean, I'm now with you guys at Pro Wrestling, and I'm with you as well, Willie, with your thing. And
Yeah.
it's great and all, and I love you guys very much, and you guys are a great team.
Love you
But
too.
yeah, right. And it's just it's crazy. I get it. Sometimes people just, I'm new to this whole wrestling news. Like, I didn't think I'd be a journalist. I didn't think I'd be a,
Yeah.
a, a podcaster. I didn't, I'm very new to this. So don't come at me, people. But I get it. Some people just want to be recognized. Some people just want a
Yeah.
headline. Some people, we do it with celebrities too. Don't get me wrong. There's magazine companies that literally thrive off of making celebrity stories up in the news daily, like Tom Hanks's Antichrist, or I don't know, whatever you could think of. And I mean, they sell it. They sell it. The headliners, they get them, and it's cool. Some people like that. Some people really can get behind that type of statement or belief and whatnot. To choose their own. I kind of just, for me at least, I like to search my facts out. Excuse
Yeah.
me, and really know what the hell I'm talking about beforehand. Sometimes, yeah, I might argue with Sam or you guys about, oh no, I'm right about such and such, but it's all for fun. It's all for
Yeah.
games. Like I'm cool with being wrong. I'm okay with taking criticism. I'm happy to be wrong at times if I know I'm wrong, and being able to correct myself and
I
stuff. Because
remember I got clowned for, an NXT guy getting a WWE chest tattoo, and I got fucking mad about it, and then he said it was fake, and I got fucking clowned on social media,
oof.
but we're not talking about that. Bobby Lashley tweeted.
Hmm.
He said, "I've worked too hard to be denied. I will be ready to fight on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. I don't care who it is, somebody will feel the wrath of the Almighty." It's gotta be Uncle Howdy, man. I'm
Well, that's my thing. Is like, let's okay. So hypothetically, let's be like one of these journalists for a second, and let's have a little fun.
yeah,
Hypothetically, let's say the injury or illness that Bray Wyatt has or doesn't have, or whatever the case may be, um, causes him not to in 3 weeks be capable and ready to fight Bobby Lashley
Yeah.
at Mania. What does that mean going forward? Is
You
my
could do
question.
one of two things. You could A, have Uncle Howdy be the replacement opponent, which I don't think much people would really
I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't
accept or
want it.
want,
Yeah.
or you can now replace Omos and have Bobby versus Brock 4, in which a lot of people wanted to happen anyway, and
Anyway,
it would
yeah.
fix the Omos shit.
It would, but I feel like Vince McMahon and his pompadour and his quads might blow up if that happens. Where Omos and Brock don't happen at Mania. It's the Titan and the Giant. I need it. I need it.
Omos!
Yeah. So, I don't want to say this. I don't want Bobby not to have an opportunity or a spot at the grandest stage of them all. I know we're cutting a little close now to the big weekend that's coming up. Maybe you scrap it and you put a
Yeah.
different spot in, and that's the worst case scenario.
You
And,
know
and
what
you
would
know,
also be crazy is
mm,
if LA Knight is Bobby Lashley's opponent.
that's also what I was going to say. Is like
Yeah.
maybe LA Knight is the opponent. Maybe that's his substitute, and maybe LA Knight gets the win over Bobby. And
That'd be
Bobby's cool
sick.
with putting him over. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool if Bobby beats the hell out of LA Knight, throws him around, does the gimmick thing back at him and stuff. Fine, cool.
Reunite the
Let's
Hurt Business attacking LA
Yeah,
Knight.
absolutely. Introduce Carmelo Hayes. There's a perfect way to introduce Carmelo Hayes to the main roster as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think something along those lines would be great and everything. Maybe we keep it as Bobby. Listen, Bobby Lashley deserves nothing but praise and goodwill. All of these wrestlers deserve praise and goodwill, men and
For
women,
sure.
and they work very hard to go on these great grand, grand at the most stages of them all: SummerSlam, the WrestleManias, the Backlashes, Crown Jewels, you name it. And you never want to take an opportunity away from these guys to feed their family or at least put just food on the table for themselves at the end of the day. Because I know that WrestleMania check it's a hefty one. I
The
feel
big
it from
one.
here. Oh yeah. So I don't want it to be where we cut Bobby completely. If that's the actual worst case scenario, okay. I'm sorry, Bobby. Maybe you're night 2 instead of night 1. Maybe it's a LA Knight Bobby Lashley situation, like we said. Maybe it's a Bobby and Omos. Let's get Bobby and Omos back in there. You know what I mean? I don't know what we could really do. Or maybe Bobby teams up with Braun and Ricochet, and we have maybe a 6-man tag
Yeah.
match with somebody like the Viking Raiders and I don't know, Karrion Cross. You know what I mean?
There
Like I
you
don't know.
go.
We get something like I don't want these guys to not have the opportunity. There's a rumor that going around that I don't know how true it may be is, but it's LA Knight and Stone Cold at WrestleMania. I don't know if
I
that's an
don't
actual
know if
thing
that's really
either.
gonna happen, no. They
Yeah, but
wouldn't
like
do something like that, like, 3 weeks before. I think that's a
true,
little too soon, but then again,
a
we
little bit
had
too much.
Kevin Owens and Stone Cold impromptu.
Yeah.
Put my
I was
hands
also
up.
kind of building a little bit of it. We kind of saw it throughout the weeks prior in a
Yeah,
way,
kinda like a
not too
month
much.
before, yeah.
Yeah, but we still had a little more time to prepare ourselves for that. But no, it's a hard one. These are hard decisions that Papa H has to make. And Vinnie Mac's probably just sitting there trying to scrum up any ideas he could possibly have to make a Vince McMahon moment at
Yeah.
WrestleMania like he wants. But
It's weird because so many people are now being like, "Oh, Bray left because Vince is back in creative. Vince is back in
no,
creative." No, he's fucking not, and I
no,
can't
and nor is Vince
understand these
back in
people.
creative, and nor is Vince back in creative. I mean,
No.
But we have to worry though that he could be in some
Yeah.
aspect because
One match,
we've learned
Brock
that
versus
yes,
Omos, and
was
ever
his
since then,
match.
people have been so fucking scared, and it's like, oh, I
I mean,
can't
I agree
understand.
with the scaring. I agree with them being scared. I'm a little skeptical too about it because listen, Vince McMahon's great and all. I know I'm trying to play both sides of the field here, Willie. I'm trying
I
my
get it,
best.
I get it.
I could say fuck Vince McMahon. Look what he's done. Look what he did outside of the company. He shouldn't be
Yeah.
there. And absolutely, he doesn't. He doesn't belong back in WWE. His age and his mind and where he wants to bring the company 20 years forward isn't the same as where he was 40 years prior.
Yeah.
He's not thinking the same way as Paul is and Paul Heyman and as even Nick Khan kind of sort of is on that cusp of not really there for the wrestlers per se. He's more there for the paycheck and everything. But it's a hard fence to sit on because you're kind of fucked on either side. Paul could do all of this by himself and could have a great, WrestleMania 2 nights, possibly having Bobby not now enter the WrestleMania at all, which sucks. And a lot of people might be disappointed on that. I know I will be. I love seeing Bobby Lashley
I'd be
in
disappointed
general.
too. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and then on the opposite side is, what do we do with Bobby then if Bray is out for whatever reason it may be or may not be, and or is this all a ploy? Is this him working us, being like, oh, I'm not showing up for the next week or two, and then like the week before Mania, he gives us a Firefly Funhouse like ups and downs of Bobby Lashley, like how he's done with John Cena and stuff. So like, I don't know. Bray's very creative. He's a creative genius. He's a legend in his own making, and all these possibilities are possible. But
Yeah.
with Vince and that whole story of Vince is back in creative. We saw him in Gorilla. He's back in creative. It's like
He
he
was
could
just
be.
fucking sitting there. I don't
Yeah, I
fucking
mean, he was definitely sitting there, and he definitely made the match of Omos and Brock, which we all know. And Brock was very happy, honestly, about it. It seemed he'd
he didn't wanna work
rather.
with Bray, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want Bray at all, which I get it from both aspects. I thought it creatively would have been a better thing because we've kind of built that story a little bit from 7 years prior. Now we're kind of getting a conclusion on it and everything. But again, what really could we see between Bray and Brock as I've thought about it throughout seeing the first time that it could happen? I don't know. It all depends. It all depends on what we're really going to be getting. There is that possibility that it could be a 50-50 booking with Vince and Triple H for WrestleMania, which is scary to some because, like I've said multiple times, I'm not a big fan of legendary acts taking up spots for great main roster talent that deserve the spot more than them because they've been to the grandest stage of them all once or twice or hell 3 times even at most.
Yeah.
I don't want to always have to see Trish Stratus and Alita come on and take the spotlight away from like a Candice LeRae or a Mia Yim or, I don't want to see Stone Cold come up and take a spot from LA Knight or, Karrion Kross. We have these guys for a reason. They're on TV for a reason. They're on these pay-per-views for a reason. So put them in the biggest show of them all for a reason. It
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense to me to risk that opportunity of them leaving because of the poor decision and poor booking of the team and the creative isn't really there fully. So it all kind of takes into play. And I did say I am worried still, and hopefully I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But it could be 50-50 booking for WrestleMania. It's somewhat seeming that way. I kind of feel like this Lita and Trish Stratus thing was more Vince's idea than Paul's. If I'm wrong, I'm
Ye
wrong. Cool, great. But Stone Cold does seem like a Vince idea. But Brock and Omos is a Vince idea. So
Yes.
like if we're getting more ideas like that, how many matches per se does Paul actually get to book for WrestleMania?
I have no clue.
Yeah, and
But
that's and
yeah,
that's that's what's scary.
I think we can both agree though, Bray's not fucking gone,
No,
right?
he's not. He didn't quit. He
No.
didn't quit. People, take your panties out of the bunch. It's okay. He's still here. He'll
And
be
never
here.
believe anything from Reddit, for goodness
Yeah. Ugh.
sake.
Reddit is. I don't even. I tried to be on Reddit for a little bit
Me
to try
too.
to promote the
It sucks.
podcast and stuff like that, and it is absolutely the dumbest platform I could ever be on. They have absolutely nonsense among nonsense of things like Sam loves it for all of his like things that he watches and stuff like that for like gaming or anime or whatever. But like I'm on Twitter because this is a business to me. I'm on Instagram. It's a business to me. This is TikTok. It's a business to me. I'm not there watching cute cat and dog videos and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe once in a while, but like I'm not sitting there like that's what I'm telling all my friends about. No,
Yeah.
I'm there, doing other things. I'm trying
Oh,
to
this is
conduct something
interesting.
here.
This is interesting. What are your thoughts on JD from New York? It's funny because JD was one of the ones on
He's
Twitter
hilarious.
being like, "Oh, he's great. I love his
He
videos."
is hilarious.
I think JD on YouTube and JD from Twitter are 2 different people essentially.
Mm.
Because JD from Twitter, I think, is way more fucking intolerable than JD on YouTube. JD on YouTube's hilarious, but JD on Twitter, I fucking
I
hate him.
love when he's screaming. I love when he's
Me
yelling. Like
too.
I don't
But
know too much about him, and I've only
yeah,
kind
me
of seen him
too.
on TikTok and stuff like that. And I've seen just like clips and people like stitch it together and be like, "This man is out of his mind. He doesn't know anything about wrestling. He
Yeah,
just likes
everyone
to
hates this
yell."
guy.
Yeah, everyone hates this guy, and he's just like, I don't know his opinions. I love to sit down. I love to have a conversation with him. I would love to know like where it all started for him and stuff like that.
He hates
Maybe,
Vince McMahon, there we go. He
but
hates
that's
Vince
okay.
McMahon, but
Like
he hates
in a way,
AEW. So,
yeah. See, but I don't understand how you can hate AEW. I can understand how you can hate Vince McMahon. There's a few reasons why you can hate Vince McMahon. I probably have some of those few reasons why we can hate Vince McMahon.
I
But
have a few of
I,
those reasons, yeah.
yeah, but I don't know really about you know
There's a ton of
AEW.
reasons for AEW. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's
All right.
meh.
Yeah.
But the JD from New York today said that he thinks Bray is actually fucking gone. And I think I see some of his tweets where it's like fucking physical illness. Oh,
Yeah.
a physical issue? LOL. If you believe that shit, you're a complete idiot. Dude hasn't lifted a finger in 6 months outside of 5 minutes. House shows exist, bro. He was going to last night if he wasn't fucking injured.
Yeah, man. He was in a street fight last night.
He was
If he
gonna be
didn't
in a
decide to
street fight.
come, bro.
Hasn't
See,
lifted a
that's
finger in 5 minutes. And then
why
what else did
I
he
think
say?
he's
Because
funny.
I remember, yeah, he said 4 hours ago before he said the, uh, physical issue. Bray Wyatt reportedly missed the MSG show last night and went, quote, "home." There is nobody that can and will convince me that I have stated this for weeks on the podcast, but as soon as we started hearing of Vince McMahon being involved more, Bray Wyatt's creative has been an embarrassment to watch. This isn't the same Bray Wyatt that returned. Him going home is absolutely related to Vince McMahon as the company continues to lie to the public about his involvement with the creative process. Being that the truth fucking hurts, someone here in the comments are already bringing out cancerous replies. Comments now limited and you can fuck off. Don't like it, go pay. Okay, so essentially he's mad because people are responding bad because yeah, and then Hunter says it here. He believes that Vince McMahon is still in creative, but Triple H is the one who called the shots. Yeah, exactly. Omos versus Brock. Vince pitched it. Triple H, for some reason, approved.
Yep. And so
So,
did Brock.
and so did Brock. Brock wanted Omos.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I I don't know. I don't know where to start. You know what I mean? I don't know where to start right now. I don't know, man. I
we've
don't know,
gone for
man.
almost a half hour on this fucking Bray shit.
Yeah. Listen. I mean, he deserves everything, Bray. But listen, he could be right. He could be wrong. I can understand where he's coming from in some aspect, in the sense of, with Vince, quote unquote, possibly being back in charge and everything. Maybe Bray's going home and being like, I know the inevitable is going to happen. Vince is once he gets full control back or whatnot,
Fire me again.
he'll fire me again. So let me just go home and call it a day now. And then at the same time, lying to the public. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's a hard situation in a way because one side of the fence you're like, hey, listen, Bray's injured, Bray's sick, Bray doesn't want to work tonight. Bray needed to go home to see his family, his wife and kids, and everything like that. Or is it Bray did get fired? Is Vince McMahon actually back in charge? Is that something that we are being lied about and just Paul isn't saying anything because he's been told not to? I can kind of see both sides, but I really don't think that Bray has been let go. I don't think Bray is
No.
left on his own recognizance, going home because Vince McMahon, quote unquote, is somewhat back in charge in some aspect or another.
Lack of
But let's
creative.
let's also be very honest here. The moment we knew or saw Vince McMahon in the back of one of the house shows or the regular show TV shows, we knew Vince was coming back to get some type of control. Let's lay it all out on the table here, people. We all knew Vince McMahon's main goal, besides making his 9 billion from selling the company or 10 billion or whatever it is, to give up the rights to WWE, to give it to some TV network program or whatever the case may be for that whole legal reason that Vince wanted control. He wants his creative seat back or whatnot, whether he's a
Yeah.
sex fiend addict or not that the public has painted him out to be, and everything, which there's a lot of cases that show that he has been. So I don't understand how he came back. I don't understand how he was allowed to have his own daughter step down and resign. I don't know how he's sitting back in gorilla with everything of all these pending charges on him. I don't see how all of this is being allowed by the WWE. I mean, for a while we were seeing, I mean, every day, at least 3 to 5 people a day in his staff alone were quitting or being fired since Vince McMahon's return. So, some of the changes Paul made were getting reversed, were getting
Yeah.
redone. And, we did see that happen. And, Bray is a very smart man. So maybe he's seeing something that we're not. And if that is the case, and let's say Vince is back in control, or maybe has a little more control than we think he has, then Bray's covering his own ass, which good for then him. I'm happy Bray left. I'd rather him leave on his own terms than be like, I'm gonna wait around until he just buries me again, and then I have to sit my contract out at home and never work again. So yeah, maybe if that's the actual case, if that's the true story, then okay, cool. Good for you, Bray. Good that you left and you're like, fuck this. I don't want to do this again and have all of my ideas and everything that I was promised by Paul now being squandered because of Vince doing.
Yeah.
And again, we kind of see some of Vince's hands in the WWE in the sense of some of these legends coming back and the possibilities of, Stone Cold showing up again, or Brock and Omos being one of them that has been verified,
Yeah.
happening. So I don't know, and that's what gives me back to the point of WrestleMania is going to be one of the shows that everybody, whether you're in the business, out of the business, a fan of the business, we're going to see. Because if the show is really good and it feels like a Paul Levesque type of show, like we saw at Elimination Chamber, then we don't have to worry so much about him being in so much control creatively. Well, yeah, he's probably in Gorilla. Yeah, he's probably going to be at WrestleMania. Yeah, he's probably going to be in NXT Stand and Deliver. Yeah, he's going to be at all these pay per views. Yeah, he's going to be at these TV shows. Great, cool, whatever. Fuck him. But if he's not in control and he's letting all of these decisions made by Paul happen, then great. I don't care if he's just sitting next to Paul, holding his hand, reminiscing on memories of when he was in charge. That's fine. Like that's not going to keep me up at night. What is going to keep me up at night is bringing back stupid ass ideas that he once had, and then being okay, like people just being like, "Oh, great, Vince is back." Like
Yeah.
Paul has done a very good number with the WWE since he's been in charge, and pay per views have shown it. The TV shows have shown it 100%. And the
The
recent pay per view
storylines have
was,
showed it. Yeah.
yeah, the storylines have showed it. The character development has showed it. The freedom of these guys allowing themselves to go above and beyond and telling the story have been great. Look at the promos we've been getting between even just Roman and Cody, if you want to go there alone, Ray and Dominic, the whole Judgment Day story. Like even, it's funny enough, but I'll mention it. Omos and Alpha Academy with maximum male models. I think it's great.
Otis and Alpha Academy.
Yeah,
You said
Otis, man.
Omos.
Oh, Otis. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
Otis.
Otis.
Good old Otis.
Otis.
And yeah, like I don't know. It's just it sucks. It sucks. On both sides, but I'm more looking to see what's WrestleMania going to be, because if it is a card or 2 nights full of 50-50 booking. Guess what? Backlash and Money in the
Backlash.
Bank. Yeah, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Crown Jewel, everything else is going to be the same, and it's gonna eventually turn back to Vince's hands, which is a really, 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 really bad idea. I see Alex is sounding off right now on the pen.
Yeah,
I'm
it
I'm gonna
seems
get to
like
that.
he thinks that this is like a storyline of yeah. No, it's okay. No, this isn't pre-recorded. He says Alexa Bliss and The Fiend are definitely the plan if Lashley does a segment tonight. I could definitely see Uncle Howdy do the same classic "Do you think you're in charge?" thing. Alexa Bliss, I don't really see it. Yeah, it
See, but
seems like
what do you mean by plan though? Because it doesn't seem like there's an actual
doesn't
plan,
seem like there's a plan, and
especially
Bobby
since
Lashley's playing into this like, hey, like this isn't Bray no more. You know, I don't see Bray going to NXT. There would be no fucking chance in hell
no,
I'm not
Bray's not
going to
going to
NXT.
NXT.
But
Um,
I'm gonna say one more final thing on this, and then we'll go on
mhm,
to the next topic in this episode because I think we went long enough with this Bray shit.
yeah,
If Vince is back, then yes, I could see Bray leaving. However, do I see
yeah,
Vince coming back, and do I see Vince leaving? I mean, do I see Bray leaving and Vince coming back? Both? Fuck no. If Vince comes back, the lawsuits are going to get worse and worse. Look at when he came back to the board.
yeah,
Look at when that happened.
yep.
So, do you really think that Vince will come back? And you think that anyone would let him? No. No. Otherwise, WWE is dead in the water. Bray, I don't it's hard to tell, but Reddit sucks, man. How can you go from an injury to he's gone? So no, I don't believe Bray is gone. I don't believe Vince is back. Yeah, no, Bray ain't leaving. Triple H would make absolutely sure of that. Yeah, especially with the merch and the draw and everything. But I don't know. And even then, I'm gonna talk a little bit about IWC's response to Bray. Like they were all
Sure.
attacking him. Have you seen that? Being like,
No, I haven't.
Bray's
I
a
have
piece of
not.
shit. Bray's a
Hmm.
traitor and all that stuff.
Oh,
Where were
that's
you
nice.
when Sasha and Naomi legitimately walked out and it was confirmed? Divas stands need to stop. I've said it forever. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go
I I I
on.
I
Oh,
agree with
you
some of
got one
that.
more
Yeah,
thing to say? You got
yeah. I
one more
got
thing
one
to
more
say?
thing to say. I'm sorry, and it's kind of what Alex is saying too. My thing is my thing, and I'll just end it here. You know, uh, if Vince is somewhat back in control or eventually becomes back in control, 100% the lawsuits are going to be flooding the WWE headquarters with
Oh, yeah.
so many allocutions and allegations and stuff. So I can't imagine that really happening. I really hope Paul is smart enough to be like, hey, dummy, you can't be in full control because then your company will be not worth a goddamn penny after all of the lawsuits and payments that you'll have to make out from all of these allegations. So I just can't see that really going into fruition. And
Yeah.
with people talking about Bray, being a piece of shit and a traitor and all of this, like you got to grow up. Not many people were too. It's at least for me, from what I saw, it didn't seem like many people gave too much of a fuck that Naomi and Sasha left, especially they were supposed to be on that night of SmackDown and they never showed up. So there was a lot of upset people, but generally
Yeah.
speaking, that weekend it wasn't all about what happened and how dare they and this, that, and the third. It was like good for them if they're getting mistreated and everything like that, then they should not be in a company that's going to mistreat them. And that goes the same for Bray too. If that's the situation and Bray did leave, then absolutely. Like I don't want someone who's willing to put their bodies and mind and creativity on the line to be mishandled and misrepresented by anybody. So, if that's the case, then great. But otherwise, you can't be like, oh, hurrah, hurrah for one, and then it's fuck you to the other person when the
Yeah.
possibility of that happening to them as well is the same amount. So, yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully everything works itself out. Hopefully Bray comes back soon and we don't have to worry about this. This episode would just be a fun filler episode. of just funness and just crazy people talking, which is always great to be on the internet with crazy people talking. So we fit in perfectly with the rest of them. So yeah, no,
For sure.
absolutely. I'm done. I'm done with the topic as well.
Yeah, no, Bray,
Yeah.
uh, we went too far in depth.
Yeah.
Next,
Well.
WWE 2K23
Yes,
early access
sir.
tomorrow. Lucky
Yes.
fucks, but
Not for
um,
me.
yeah, not for me either. I gotta wait till Friday, and
Yeah.
it's sad, but this game is really shaping up to be like
Fire.
probably the best 2K
Yeah.
game ever.
Yeah. I've been
Like
seeing a lot of things on TikTok. It looks great.
I've been seeing a lot of things on Twitter, TikTok, everything. It's just it's so great. War
Yeah.
games and
War games.
now
John
we're gonna
Cena.
now we're gonna get like Super Cena where like
Yeah.
if you beat the showcase, I think
That's
you'll get
great.
this invisible
Let's
fucking John
go.
Cena.
Let's
Uh
go.
what
Give me that.
else? Um you'll also I heard that in my faction there's like an action figure John Cena model.
Yes, I
That will
saw that as
only be in the
well.
mode, and yeah. 2K23 looks the same. Actually, I disagree. It looks like a lot of the mechanics and stuff are very different, and the John Cena showcase is looking to be fun. Uh, I'm really looking forward to everything. You won't get Regal in the game though. Like Regal was in AEW for the most part of last year. I don't think they'd
Yeah,
put Regal in the fucking game.
no.
But what are your thoughts really on the game? Like what
No, it looks great. It looks definitely a lot more polished out than 2K22. I can't, personally, I can't wait to get my hands on it and make a review out of it and everything for
Oh yeah,
sure.
me too.
That's for sure. I know we're going to be talking about it more and more as time goes on. I saw today as well that one of John Cena's old entrances, Dr. Thugonomics, with his old music as well as old
Oh,
video
yeah.
art and stuff like that is there with the old SmackDown with the hand, I'm sorry, the fist coming out of the entrance and stuff. So it looked great. He looked literally like back to 2002, 2003, John Cena, Dr. Thugonomics. Great music, great theme song. I miss that as well. Um, so I'm definitely excited to see what the game's finished product is going to look like and everything. But yeah, man, the showcase looks great. There's different ways you could play. You could play, pretty much you're playing as the opponents of John Cena's stories, so you have to beat him, just
Yeah.
like the ones, unfortunately, just like which is very different compared to the Rey Mysterio one.
Well,
But you
most
have
of
to
the other
beat.
ones, you would only play as, like, the cover wrestler, and you gotta beat all these different people,
Yeah.
and now you play as these different people, and you beat John Cena.
Yeah, which is really great. And then there's also like the biggest one that everyone's been talking about, especially is the AEW. I'm sorry, the RVD ECW match with him, one night stand.
Oh, hell
If
yeah.
you lose to John Cena and John retains the belt, there's actually a riot that persists, and the
Yeah, I
referee tries
saw
to get
that.
you out of there because of everybody at the stadium is gonna kill him is gonna kill him. So,
That's fucking great.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely want to play different endings and stuff just to get my just to get my hands on a better version and stuff. But I see Alex talking about how he's very excited about AEW Fight Forever, and
They need to give us a release date, man. Like,
they
they
need to
need to
give us a release date for sure. It looks good. I'm very excited to play it as well. I'm going to put a lot of time into it as well. It reminds me a lot of Here Comes the Pain graphics and play style from way back in the day. And a little bit of maybe SmackDown versus Raw here and there, but all in all, it kind of looks a little not finished from the
PS2. No, I'm
gameplay.
joking.
Yeah, it kind of looks a little unfinished from the
Yeah.
gameplay that we got between Hangman and Daniel Bryan. Um, hopefully that was just a demo, which it seemed to be, and that the finished product will be way better
Yeah, hopefully.
than what we saw. But
It
I
still looks
am as well.
promising, like, the
It
the
does. It does
gameplay is
look good.
probably gonna carry this, like, the graphics probably aren't gonna be good, but the gameplay will probably carry.
Yeah, and plus
the
we got a lot of
game.
different modes, and we got a lot of great wrestlers to choose from, and stuff like that. So, I'm very excited to see what AEW has to offer, and hopefully it competes right next to WWE as one of the another video game wrestling video game that is just as good, if not maybe better than
Yeah,
WWE 2K. I mean, but 2K, is known for being a staple when it comes to sport games and stuff. So they're definitely going up against a Titan, uh, Jukes and everybody. So we shall see. But yeah, we need a release date. Give us a release date, Tony. Stop playing around with us.
but yeah, 2K23 is definitely like looking up to be fucking great. There's so many new stuff, so many new people,
Yeah,
an interesting showcase mode. Seems like my faction's getting better, but I still hate the fact that you can't do the custom attires in the exhibition. Pisses me off, but you can
mm,
do my faction online, which I think is an
yeah, that's cool.
improvement.
And
Uh,
crossplay as well
and
on this one as
crossplay as
well.
well. So literally, we could fucking play 2K.
Yes,
That's
we will
fucking.
be. Trust me.
We will be. That would be a great fucking video.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah, so 2K23, oh man, I can't wait. All you lucky fucks will get it tomorrow, and I have to watch
Yeah,
every YouTuber under the sun play it tomorrow, and I'll be at school just fucking getting notifications up the ass, and it will
yep.
annoy me. But yeah, so since we only have a little bit more time, let's go early Mania predictions. All the
Yeah, sure,
matches that are announced, we'll give our picks and very brief thoughts as to why.
sure.
So, first one, we'll get this out of the way. Brock versus Omos.
Brock,
Brock. I think it will
Brock.
be like 5 minutes. Suplexes F5. Omos gets beat. Maybe this is where you do the Hurt Business reunion. However, I don't know, but people are like, it's going to make Omos look weak. Who cares? Vince is happy. He's fucking jerking off in the back, and he'll get Omos.
Yeah,
Um, okay, what's next? Becky and Trish and Lita versus Damage Control. 6-woman tag.
I want Damage Control and Bailey.
Yeah, you
I
want
want
Damage Control
I
and
I
Bailey.
want Damage Control and Bailey. I don't like the fact Lita and Trish are back.
I
I
definitely
don't.
see Lita and Trish and Becky getting the win. It's
Yeah,
written in the
it's.
sand.
I know. I know. I'll be wrong about this, like the Ruby Soho match. I'm okay with it. I have to. I have to. I have to bite the bullet. I have to
Yeah.
bite the bullet. It is what it is. But yeah, Bailey, if you're hearing this, if you watch this, win. God damn it! I need a win from you, babe.
Okay, so Bray and Bobby Lashley isn't happening. Cena versus Theory.
Honestly, it's a shitty match overall.
Really?
Yeah, Cena wins. He drops it the next night to who? Seth? To Austin again?
I'm hearing
To,
Jay White. I want it to be LA Knight. I want it to be LA Knight entering
I
the US
prefer it
Open
to be LA
Challenge.
Knight.
Oh,
Jay
I
White,
love
you
LA
know how I
Knight.
feel about where Jay White should be, not where everyone wants him to be. NXT.
Yeah,
I don't want him in WWE just yet.
I wouldn't
Um,
put him in NXT. They don't got the balls.
Yeah, well, they should because a lot of these other guys are going to be coming to the main roster, so they're going to need someone else to spearhead the company
True. You're gonna get
forward. So
Breaker and Carmelo and all those people. I get it.
yeah,
Um, okay. Oh, I didn't give my
so
pick for Cena. Oh, you didn't. No, you didn't say yours pick for Cena versus Theory yet. I was gonna go
um,
ahead.
I want Austin to win.
Oh yeah,
I want Austin to retain, not because it's Cena in a Mania match, and it's not because Cena doesn't deserve the win.
to pass the torch.
Let's it's just to pass the torch. But really, I don't even think he's going to pass the torch from the promo that we got from them recently.
Yeah.
I think that if he does come out Monday night, everyone's going to boo the shit out of him like we did last night at MSG. And the whole place, Willie, when that guy came out, was just booze, booze. There was no cheering for him.
Because
There was
Cena
nothing.
very
Oh,
fast on
nobody
Monday.
wanted him.
That was
Yeah,
fucking
no,
funny.
I want Austin to win. just to get this match over with, just to continue. Let it, like how Carmelo's been hanging jerseys every time he wins. Just hang it as another win for you, Austin, and move on. But then this is it. Do not do any more legends. Just continue on.
Yeah. I want Cena. I'm not gonna lie. I want one more U.S. title reign, even if it's for a day. Even if it's for a day, and we get a shocking Raw after Mania pop for a debuting superstar or returning superstar. I want it,
Yeah.
but it seems like very likely it's going to be Theory
Yeah.
because of the passing of the torch, and to make
Right.
Theory look like even bigger of a deal than he already is. 'Cause again, we know how much Vince both
Mm,
Austin Theory, like
yeah.
Vince was going to fucking throats, and
Oh yes.
Hunter's evolved Austin, but it's still enough to make me say I'm sick of his fucking ass. I want Cena, but I think Theory's gonna win. Next, Gunther versus to be determined for the Intercontinental Championship. It's on
If
Wikipedia.
it's Sheamus and Gunther, give it to Sheamus. He deserves to get the I keep
Grand
fucking up the
Slam.
name. Thank you. The Grand Slam opportunity and an accolade. He's well deserving of it. It keeps Gunther looking strong at the same time because Gunther still has a lot to give to the WWE. So I don't see really a big loss in Gunther's ring general coat,
Yeah.
of disappointment. But yeah, I if it's Sheamus, great. If it's Drew, Gunther,
I'm roughly around the same ballpark, but I think this will lead to a triple threat. Like obviously next week, I
and
think
still
there's going to be
Sheamus.
a DQ. I'm going Sheamus me as
Yeah,
well.
Sheamus as well.
It seems like Sheamus doesn't have that much time left anyway. Give him the Grand
Yeah.
Slam. Give him the
Yep.
fucking Grand Slam. Even if it's, and I think it would make more sense if it was a triple threat. Like I said multiple times here, Sheamus pins Drew.
Yep.
Gunther looks strong.
Right.
There you go. I
That is
think,
how you keep Gunther looking good.
yeah, we already did Brock and Omos. Bianca versus Asuka.
Oscar baby,
Me too.
Oscar,
Bianca's
Oscar
been
baby.
champ way too long. I think she's overstayed her welcome, and I think this is time for her to lose the belt.
Time for a change.
100%. So that was quick. Seth versus Logan Paul.
Do we even have to say it?
Hey,
Do we
Seth
even have to
frickin'
ask it?
Rollins,
If it's
right?
not set, then I don't want it. Get that Logan Prime ass out of there already.
I think it
Absolutely.
would make more sense because Rollins, like the pop would be sick, I
Yeah.
think. But and it would make Rollins look fucking weak if he loses to Logan.
Oh,
It would
there's
make
no
Rollins
point.
look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Charlotte versus Rhea.
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 Rhea. Rhea. If Charlotte's
Rhea
trying to
needs
do
it.
this whole title thing, it has to be Rhea. Unless Charlotte's losing it at either Money in the Bank or at SummerSlam. The only
Backlash.
way, or Backlash. Yeah, yeah, she could lose it at Backlash. She could also retain it at Backlash if Rhea does want to run it back for the third time, or if Liv really wants to get it and give another shot. And unfortunately, probably lose to Charlotte because no one wants to give Liv another run, which she totally deserves. We love Liv. I
Yeah.
don't know why no one's giving Liv her flowers, but yeah, it has to be Rhea because I would love to see Rhea and Liv at SummerSlam for Liv to get another quick run before the inevitable Survivor Series of Charlotte and Liv, or Crown Jewel between Charlotte and Liv.
Hmm.
And plus with Rhea, if Rhea would look really good with the belt on for the women's division, especially if she then goes completely over to SmackDown. She's bringing a new caliber of wrestling to SmackDown. She's
Yeah.
bringing Dom Dom, which is great because now we can really finish off this whole Ray and his story as well. And I think Dominic could really flourish in SmackDown's not so heated, really overhauled roster compared
Yeah.
to Raw. So I definitely think that the two of them coming over as a part of the win is a great thing for SmackDown. It brings the blue brand up, makes new eyes on there, especially eyes of Rhea. And as shocking as it may sound, of Prison Dom Dom as well. So I'm all for it. But and again, it also shows that Rhea's ability isn't needed by the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day can kind of expand per se, and maybe include Liv in that. There was a rumor such and such going around about how Liv could join the Judgment Day, and Rhea said that she'd be a great addition. I think so as well. So maybe that's something we could entertain with Rhea going over to SmackDown, maybe then leading into Liv and Rhea finally hashing out their differences from the Rumble. But again, who knows? We shall see.
All right, and one more because we kind of got to finish this up. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Who is your pick?
Cody, 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 Cody,
It's time. It's
Cody,
time for Cody to
Cody.
fucking win, I think.
If it's not Cody and he has to go through 1,000 days, then it has to be Jey Uso.
Jay needs it.
Has to be Jey Uso. The loss has to matter to Roman. It
Yep.
has to be the nail in the coffin of the bloodline if Sammy and Kevin win those championships from the bloodline, which inevitably it seems like throughout these next few weeks we're going to be getting. So I think that if we're going to let Roman have a vacation, great. He deserves it. He's been doing 2 years of amazing title defense
Almost
work.
3.
Almost 3. Great. Yeah, it'd be a great milestone if he hits 1,000. Fantastic. But I don't really think it makes that much of a difference in his story
It doesn't make
unless the
sense.
inevitable is Jay's the one that defeats him on the 1,000-day mark, making him
Yeah.
just that close to never succeeding. So on top of that, he beat Cody, he beat all these other people. Jay then was shunned out from the bloodline in a way again because of his loss due to his in head work or whatnot because of Sami Zayn and his relationship. And then, SummerSlam, they finally hash it out and Jay gets the victory. I don't see why it wouldn't be a bad idea to Jay get a title out of it, but I also would like to see more like Gunther or LA Knight get a title shot before him,
Yeah, for
if that
sure.
makes any sense. So,
I say Cody because Cody deserves it. The storyline, everything is great. Roman versus Jay does not need a title. And I think Roman deserves a bit of a vacation. It's time, a WrestleMania. If it wasn't The Rock, it has to be fucking Cody.
right.
So that makes sense. But anyways, we're gonna have to cut this episode a little bit short, and you gotta get ready for your live
Yes, live
for
stream over
Raw.
on, over on YouTube, over on Twitch. We're
Yeah,
gonna be over there. Last Week in Wrestling. Check us out. Hit that subscribe button. We're very close to 1,000 on TikTok, so don't forget to hit that TikTok follow button and everything. Like I said, this is all new to me, man. So
yeah,
it's
for
just really
sure, for
crazy.
sure.
But
But yeah,
very exciting.
awesome. And be sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get to
Yes,
300
please.
by WrestleMania. And yeah, thanks so much. This has been your boy Willie Does Wrestling. Thank you for joining me, Dylan. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Be good, people.